Hey, welcome back to the Side Jack channel. Let's take a look at the Leatherman Sidekick. This multi-tool has been out for several years, and I bought it when it first came out. There's another version of this called the Wingman. The Wingman has scissors, this one has a saw. When I bought this, it was under $60. I think it was around $55. I think for $55, it was an okay buy. Right now, they're going for $70. And I don't know if I would buy it for $70. I really don't. It's good. I mean, it's okay. It's an okay multi-tool. It does a few things adequately, doesn't do anything great, and it has a few features that I really like, but they can be found on other multi-tools. And the build quality of this one, I haven't held a lot of these. This is the only Sidekick that I've ever handled and used, and I have used it. I've used it a lot. The build quality is not outstanding. It's adequate. And if you're going to spend $70, I want a little bit more than adequate. And I know that everything has gone up. Everything is more expensive. But I don't know. It's a hard sell for $70. 50? Yeah, all day long. 70? I don't know. I really like, let's start with the things I like. I like the spring-loaded pliers. I like the pocket clip. I like the shape. It's very rounded over. There's no real hot spots other than the edges of these blades here. It is pocket shaped. It kind of has a pocket-friendly shape to it. It's not that heavy. It's about 7 ounces. And it has a pretty good knife, which gives you a little more than 2.5-inch blade cutting surface, maybe 2 5/8, which is good for an everyday carry knife. It's one-handed opening. I like that. The steel is okay. It's probably 420 HC, I think, or maybe it's the CM154. I'm not sure anymore. But it holds an edge fairly well. I like that it is a liner lock. I like that the blade and the saw are on the outside and both lock. The saw is okay. It's push-pull cut, and I have cut a lot of stuff with it, mostly trees, brambles, and bushes, and it works. And if you're left-handed, you could open the saw with one hand, but definitely if you're right-handed, you can open the blade with one hand. So I like that. Now what I don't like all the flex in this frame here. And when you go to open the knife, you're pushing down on this side. You can really feel it. It just does not give you a feeling of confidence. And I really don't like the gapping that is in the pliers. I've tried to cut wire with that, and you can get through it, but you usually end up taking a couple of bites and twisting it. There's some gapping in the tip. That tip is not very precise. It's adequate, but it doesn't really knock my socks off. I'm not crazy about any of the secondary tools, which are this 2-dimensional Phillips, which will work. The screwdriver is very rounded over, so you better be careful. If you're really trying to unscrew a tight screw, it may come out. It has a little bit of a friction lock, so it's not locking. On this side, you have a can opener, cap lifter, a lanyard ring, which I'm not even going to call that a tool, but they do. And it has this file, which is, I would say, pretty useless. It's very short. It's a single hatch file. I mean, it's adequate. You could file something with that if you really, really had to. It does have, I'll go back to something I like if I can get to it. A serrated blade. And this serrated blade is really good, and it's still sharp. I've used it a lot, and it's held an edge really well. It is chisel ground. It's only sharpened on one side, or ground on one side, I'll say. But it is very sharp, and it makes a great package opener. I've cut open bags of animal feed and bags of manure with that, and until it's really scratched up. I've used this. It's good. So I'll give that to them. That's a positive. So there you go. The positives are that serrated blade, the design, the shape, the pocket clip, the spring-loaded pliers. I wish more multi-tools were spring-loaded. And the outside tools, the oak knife blade is not a bad knife blade, and you can open it fairly easily. The saw is okay. The negatives are the build quality. That is not a $70 tool to me. If it was a $50 tool, I'd pay $50 for that and live with it. And you can tighten it up a little bit, but it still does that. It did that when it's brand new. And the interior tools are fairly useless, except for the serrated blade, which is really good. So I'll leave it up to you. And the build quality, now that they're charging $70, maybe they're putting $70 worth of quality and workmanship into it. I think I got the first year or maybe second year run of these. So maybe they were still trying to figure it out. I don't know. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm not bashing Leatherman. I've owned several. This is the only one I currently own. I've kind of gone a different way, and I'm carrying more Victorinox Swiss Army knife type tools. My lifestyle has kind of changed. But this is an adequate tool. And if you can find it at a bargain, I would say it's not a bad choice. But currently at $70, I would look around a little. Consider your options. All right, that's just my opinion. I hope I didn't offend anybody, and I'll leave it at that. Thanks. Bye.